Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up right now is going to be our post-game reaction show to the Raiders' 24-19 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. You can look at this game in a lot of different ways. I'm going to look at it this. Derek Carr was not good. The offensive line was not good. The defense, I actually thought played a halfway decent game, but if you're going to pay your quarterback the amount of money that you did, to me, Josh McDaniels didn't show me today that he had a lot of faith in his quarterback and Derek Carr. Well, the reason why I say that, one of the most telling things is you had 3 timeouts entering right before the first half of that game. 3 timeouts, 35 seconds left. You have Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller, and you don't try to put points on the board. Shame on you, Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels was out coached today. Derek Carr was outplayed today. It's as simple as that. So when you look at some of these numbers here, DC, 22 of 37, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. When it really came down to it, he didn't make plays when he needed to make plays. 3 really bad interceptions. And if Carr just takes care of the football, I think the Raiders win. Not only that, Carr missed Darren Waller in the very first drive of the game for a touchdown. Derek didn't come up clutch when he needed. He drastically underthrew Davante Adams, which should have been a touchdown. Instead, it's an interception. Drastically underthrown Hunter Renfrow. Instead, it's an interception. DC is the main reason why the Raiders lost today's game. Now, I was impressed by Josh Jacobs. I was very impressed today by Davante Adams. 10 catches, 141 yards and a touchdown on 17 targets. But here's the issue. If you have tunnel vision for Davante and you don't look around your other receivers, Derek, you're going to struggle. And the defense, you can say what you want. I get they didn't sack Justin. I get that the fact they didn't take the ball away. The defense played a hell of a game today against one of the best damn offenses in the National Football League. And if you think otherwise, you're tripping. So when you look at some of these numbers here, the Raiders' total yards, 320 total yards, Chargers 355. If you were to tell me that the Chargers would be 6 of 14 on third down, okay, 6 of 13 on fourth down, and we were to hold them to 355 total yards, I'd say the Raiders win this game easily. If you would have told me that the Raiders defense was able to hold the Chargers offense to 24 freaking points with the amount of situations that we got put in, I would tell you get out of here. Derek struggled. It's as simple as that. So I want to know right now, what is your one-word reaction to this game? One of the things that I said on my live show, and I'm not saying that I want Jimmy Garoppolo over Derek Carr. Cut that bullshit out right now. However, if you don't think that the Jimmy Garoppolo rumors are going to start happening, you're a crazy person. Because Derek Carr is the number one reason why the Raiders lost today's game. Don't get it twisted. DC struggled. The 3 interceptions set up the Chargers. And if I'm Josh McDaniels and I'm Dave Ziegler, I think about a Jimmy Garoppolo trade. I do. I don't say I do it, but I at least have it in the back of my mind. Does Jimmy G give you a better chance to win games than Derek Carr? No, he does not. But I'm telling you right now, those Jimmy Garoppolo trade rumors are going to happen because of how bad of a game Derek played. I get it. The yards are great. But when you turn the ball over 3 times against the Chargers team and lose by 5 points, plus you miss a Davante Adams touchdown in the back of the end zone, which turns into an interception. You miss a Darren Waller play early in the game, which turns an incomplete pass, which then turns into a field goal. Derek is going to be on the hot seat. I'm telling you right now, I'm turning up the heat on a Derek Carr hot seat. And because Herbert played well, I know a lot of people out there are going to talk like, oh, Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. That's not true. Watch the tape. Turn on the tape. If you think for a second Derek's better than Justin Herbert, you're crazy. However, Derek does have better receivers, does have a better tight end, has a better overall unit. The Raiders are a better team. I'm not afraid to say that. The Raiders are a better team than what the Chargers are. But Justin Herbert today was the difference maker. He was able to make plays. He made plays when it mattered. Yes, the Raiders defense got stops at the end, which if you're the Raiders defense, the amount of stops you got at the end of the game, the fact that they couldn't come away with a win, the fact that you only put up 19 points in today's game with the amount of opportunities that you had, shame on you, shame on your offense. The Raiders defense today I thought played well. What up, Zoo? His new name is Jamarcus Carr. Not going to go that far. Derek struggled today. No doubt about it. If you're going to pay a quarterback top 5 money at the time, he needs to deliver. If you give a quarterback the amount of options that he has, there's no more excuses. And I'm telling y'all right now, there are no more excuses for Derek Carr. So somebody please tell me why this guy, who everyone says is a top 10 quarterback, is getting paid that type of money. Because what I saw today, I didn't see a top 10 quarterback. I didn't see a top 15 quarterback. I saw some guy who was afraid to make plays when it mattered the most. And on top of that, Josh McDaniels couldn't even trust his quarterback at the end of the first half. He didn't put he just didn't believe in DC. I don't care what you say. He didn't believe in him. Let's go to Dinah 0311. Raiders played like shit. I'll say this. The good news is Raiders didn't play well today, and you lost by 5 points on the road. I get it, still technically a Raiders home game, but you lost to a great Chargers team. Hopefully you can bounce back next week against the Cardinals. You got to forget about this game and just move on. Mr. Vagoat, Carr needs to destroy the Cardinals. This performance was unacceptable. I attest this is not playing to the preseason. I'm not really going to sit here and say a lot to the preseason because Carr looked good in practice. A lot of people will say you get more out of joint practices than what you do anything else. But Derek Carr is the reason why the Raiders lost today's game. Don't get it twisted. Now, if you want nonstop coverage around the silver and black, even when it's all over, we got you covered here. Hit that big old red subscribe button. I've been trying to beat the Chargers YouTube channel. I want to cross those guys. If you're looking for free Raiders content, hit that sub button. What up, Mystic? Carr looked rusted. There was 7 points left on the board. Offense will be fine. You can't swap right tackle, expect to win. Go get Darrell Williams. For the love of God, go get Darrell Williams. I mean, you gave up 5 sacks today. Though, Khalil Mack had 3. Most of that damage was done on the left side. I don't understand how you're going to rotate in Jermaine Illuminor. I actually thought Thayer Munford played well, minus that late penalty that he had in terms of being in like it was 24-19, that 2-point conversion. I don't think Jermaine Illuminor played all that bad, though he didn't play great. But one thing I saw was Derek didn't have a lot of confidence in this offensive line. And if he's getting pitter-pattied with his feet and he's getting nervous, then you got to upgrade the O-line, or else it's going to be a struggle. Because if Derek is going to show that he's a little bit nervous about the line, it's going to be a very, very long season. But Carr looked rusty for sure. John Silva, why? I don't know why, man. I don't know why this game happened. I don't know why the Raiders lost. They should have came away with a win. If you can hold the Chargers to 24 points with that offense, you need to come away with a win. I thought the defense stepped up great. I thought they played great in the second half of that game. Derek just couldn't make plays when it mattered the most. Simple as that. Derek couldn't make plays when it mattered the most. Anthony Morales, O-line is so trash, man. They gave up 5 sacks. They struggled. But Colt Miller, they got beat. Colt Miller is one of the biggest losers of today's game. Don't get that twisted. Colt Miller is the biggest loser on that offensive line today for the Raiders because Khalil Mack had his day. Khalil Mack was feasting on Colt Miller today, who's one of the best left tackles in the league. Sometimes it's going to happen. When you go at great against great, that's going to happen. Earlier in the show, I said Max Crosby, Chandler Jones is a better matchup than Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and they proved me wrong. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, clearly better than Max Crosby and Chandler Jones today. Though, Crosby had a hell of a game. Crosby was flying all over the football field today. I love the energy that he brought. I thought he was doing a phenomenal job from top to bottom. But for the Raiders, they went out with that starting offensive line of Colt Miller, John Simpson, Andre James. In fact, Dylan Parham, the rookie, he started at right guard. Jermaine Illuminor had a right tackle, but then they swapped in Lester Cotton here and there. They swapped in Thayer Munford. They went with a lot of different line sets. If you're going to go with different line sets, I don't like that because to me, offensive line depends a lot more on chemistry. Alan Cruz, Mitch, this loss was a complete bummer, man. Like you, I had very high expectations, but we just fell flat. We'll bounce back next week for sure. I hope so. I mean, I'm going to bring a lot of energy to tomorrow's show. I'm going to do winners and losers. I'm going to do a post-game reaction. But you have to put this game in the back burner, and you have to then focus on what's going forward. So how about this? Let's go back to school because a lot of times after these games, people ask me, Mitch, what's your grade? What would you grade the Raiders' offense against the Chargers? I give them a D. I give the offense a D. I don't like a lot of the play calling that happened. You put up 19 points. You had opportunities to score in the red zone. You had opportunities to make big-time plays. If Derek makes like 3 or 4 different throws, this is a totally different game. But for me, I'm going to give him a D grade. Not going to give him an F, but got to give him a D grade. What up, Triven? Coaching. Coaching wasn't good. Josh McDaniels got out-coached today. Brandon Staley, absolutely 100% out-coached Josh McDaniels today. And I think what I'm really going to go back and look at is, okay, I'm going to go back and look at that right before the first half ended. You had 3 timeouts, 35 seconds on the clock. Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. If you're going to pay all 3 of those players the amount of money that you paid them, plus you're going to play Derek Carr the amount of money that you paid him, why are you not trying to put points on the board? If you can at least give Daniel Carlson a shot, give him a shot to put some points on the board with a field goal. That does. It totally changes the entire game. Shame on you, Josh McDaniels. Joe, Carr held the ball too long repeatedly. He has multiple options. Stop staring down Adams and get the ball out. I don't disagree with that. I saw tunnel vision today from Derek Carr. When Davante Adams couldn't get open, DC panicked. And for the first time in his career, I said for the first time, spread the ball out more because he was way too much focusing on Davante Adams. It's clear. Today's MVP, Joseph, King Raider Nation. Can we get Lamar Jackson? No, I get the fact that Lamar Jackson didn't sign his contract. However, Lamar is looking for more than $230 million guaranteed. For those that don't know, Lamar apparently turned down a 6-year contract worth almost $300 million, which is about $49 million per year. He turned it down. He wants more guarantees. He wants something closer to Deshaun Watson's contract. I love Lamar Jackson. I'm not paying him that type of money. Let's go to Wild On. What up, man? Do you believe the mistake of not playing starters in the preseason? No. I don't give a shit about the preseason. I'll tell you that right now. I get that sometimes people want to get the reps in, but if you're out there practicing every day, if you're out there doing, the live reps, you should – if you have to rely on the preseason, then what are you practicing for? If you can't get your reps in during the practice, what are you even practicing for? I get a lot of people like, oh, he's rusty because he wasn't in the preseason. I don't care. A lot of those players, they don't even care about the preseason because they know it doesn't matter to them. They know that the only thing that happens to them is they could potentially get hurt. So for me, if you're going to conduct your practice, if you're going to be Josh McDaniels' new head coach, I'm a big believer you practice how you play. And if you don't practice how you play, then why are you even practicing? If that's your mindset, why are you even practicing? So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care that you're not done in the preseason. You did a joint practice. All reports were that Derek Carr looked great in joint practice. Joint practices are like real-time games. So, no, I don't care about the preseason. Let's go to Cedric. Carr should have played in the preseason. I disagree. I don't care. If you're going to sit here and say Carr looked rusty because of the preseason, I'm going to disagree with you. If you're a quarterback that's getting a 3-year, $121.5 million deal, you're a quarterback that has never won a playoff game, and yet you want to be paid like a top 5 quarterback, no. I don't care. Your job is to win games when it matters the most. So don't give me this preseason rusty crap. Should the Raiders starters play during the preseason? Y for yes or N for no? It's a good question. I agree. The amount of people that have told me that, yes, the Raiders should have played, I agree it's a good question. I think that some starters should have played. If you're trying to debate who's going to be certain players making your roster, yes. When it comes to Derek Carr, if you are going to make $40 million a year, it should not matter for the preseason. If it does matter, then don't even practice. You should get your reps in the practice. If you're not getting enough good reps in the practice field, then what the hell are you doing in the practice field? Oh, let's go to Kevin. Carr haters, this is only the first game. Yeah, it sucked, but no preseason practice. Right tackle is still an issue. See, I'll say this. I think a lot of people are going to look at this game and say right tackle is an issue, which it is. But Colton Miller was worse than our right side of the offensive line today. Let's not get that twisted. And then, yes, Carr didn't play in the preseason. But again, if you're going to pay somebody $40 million a year, I don't want to hear preseason. No excuse at this point. Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, no excuses. DJ Watt, Mitch, what about Cap? Stop. Please stop. Colin Kaepernick is not good enough to play in the NFL anymore. Let's please stop. Giovanni Tejada, Carr needs to use his legs. He's not a quarterback that's going to use his legs. So if you want a quarterback that can use his legs, Derek Carr's not your guy. Sorry, he's not your guy. And if you're going to invest all that money in the offense, you're going to invest over the amount of money that they did in all those receivers, why don't you need a quarterback that's going to use his legs? No, Carr needs to be a pocket passer, but you need to have a good offensive line, and Carr needs to make good reads. Carr made bad reads today. He underthrew Davante Adams, which should have been a touchdown. He underthrew Darren Waller today, which should have been a touchdown. And he underthrew Hunter Renfrow today, which turned into a pick and turned into the Chargers' points. What do you want? What do you want the defense to do? Carr's the reason why I lost today's game. Lucas, on a positive note, Hobbs is a real damn man. Hobbs played great today. I mean, I think Nate Hobbs looks like one of the best damn players out there. Max Crosby had himself a hell of a game. But if you're not going to be able to get pressure on Justin Herbert, either you got to design more blitzes. Herbert today had all day to throw. If you're going to give Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, all day to throw, you're going to lose games. But the fact that you held him to 24 points, the fact that you held the Chargers to 7 points in the second half and you still couldn't come away with a win, That's frustrating, man. So what about this? We're talking about the defense, and I want you to rate the Raiders' defense against the Chargers. Scale it from 0 to 100. 0, it's the worst game you've ever seen. 100, it's the best game you've ever seen. I'd probably give them a 70, 75. You gave your offense a chance to win multiple times. Your offense put you in really bad situations a lot of the time, but you got stops when you needed them. Yeah, there was a few situations there where the one touchdown the Raiders gave up, I will admit, the Justin Herbert slide with Nate Hobbs, that's a fluke. It should have been 4th and 1. That's a disgraceful call there by the refs. But sometimes that shit's going to happen. The Raiders defensively played well. 75, 80 grade for me. Def Halo, quarterback and O-line, no protection, no confidence under throwing, and happy feet. Correct the O-line and Carr, move forward and get bold. The offensive line does need to get better. Carr needs to get better too, though. So, out of the offensive line played as bad as what people are saying. Let's go to Lil Darkness, 209. We should have kept Mariota. Stop. Mariota and Derek Carr aren't even in the same breath. You can say what you want. Mariota isn't a top 32 quarterback in my mind. He's not. I could probably, if you gave me time, I would tell you right now 32 other quarterbacks that I would rather take over Marcus Mariota. And if you're saying they should have kept Mariota over Derek Carr, no disrespect to you. I appreciate your super chat. Your football knowledge isn't where it should be. Now, if you want to interact with me on social media, you can always do so on Twitter and Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. And if you want to get in our 50-50 raffle, which is still yet to be announced, which we are going to get to here in a second, hit me up on Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365.